good morning. You're listening to KCLR Live with Eimear NiBhronain here. We'd love to hear from you this morning, whatever you're up to. We're going to the phone lines now because we're going to talk about the Pope's visit. And Kathy McMahon is on the line. Kathy, how are you?
Fine, Eimear, how are you?
Very good. Well, Kathy, you'd meet the Pope if he came to Ireland.
I would. Well, first of all, let me explain who I am. I'm the founder of a group called Irish First Mothers, which is consists of over 70 women who experience coercion in respect of pregnancies outside of marriage and who spend time mostly in so-called mother and baby homes. We're together 4 years now.
Right. Now, Kathy, you were very public about your own personal story and having spent time in mother and baby homes yourself.
I was. I remained silent about my experiences for over 30 years. But then, you know, as I matured and so on, and I seen the pain that was out there among other women who had been through similar experiences, I decided to establish a group for women so that we could support each other as peer-to-peers, you know, to actually bring about some form of healing in being able to talk to each other, because many women, and even today, there are many, many thousands of women actually who have never spoken about their experiences. So, you know, the initial setting up of the group was literally to enable healing among people who had similar experiences.
Right. And you're in Castlecomer these days, Kathy?
I'm from Dublin, but I was outcast, chased out by the Celtic tiger down to the beautiful Castlecomer, and I couldn't have landed in a better place.
Well, we're delighted to have you in this part of the world, yeah.
It's beautiful, and my view is beautiful, but and it's been very healing for me, you know, to be in such a beautiful surroundings with so much peace around me. And so, you know, I suppose with that peace and nature around me, I found healing. And I realised how much I'd been through, and, you know, how much the secretiveness, the loss of my first child to adoption, my incarceration in mother and baby homes, I was in 2 of them, the effects of those on me. So when I found healing, I, you know, realised that there was thousands of women out there who are going through similar. And that it's time that we started to encourage each other to heal, to live life to the fullest that we can, at whatever ages we're at.
Right. Now, you and the Irish First Mothers group, you have engaged with the government, but you've never really managed to engage with the church despite your approaches.
Exactly. We've been involved, engaged with the government in relation to the setting up of the Commission of Investigation into Mother and Baby Homes, and various other issues, also on the Adoption Information and Tracing Bill and the adoption legislation, the amendment to the Adoption Bill 2016. But we have written, and I've personally written, to various people within the Catholic Church, and there has been no responses.
Right, but you say that you would meet Pope Francis, that you're open to that it's not that you're against the visit.
Exactly. Basically coming from my Christian upbringing, I am personally, and as representative of the thousands of women out there who have been through the mother and baby homes, I'm prepared to meet Pope in the vein of the Christian ethos, you know, to reach out the hand and to allow others to see that, you know, there is a meeting, and that there is an opportunity for reconciliation. Our group has been based on peace, justice, peace, truth, justice and reconciliation within our group. And, I think that because of the thousands of women who are out there who've been through these experiences, and because of the trauma and the harm that is still happening today, to be Christian is to be Christ-like. And Christ did not, deny or ignore the people who are going through pain and trauma.
Okay.
He reached out to those people.
Kathy, something that really strikes me, I'm sorry to go across you, but something that really strikes me always when we talk about the issues such as the mother and baby homes, the Magdalene laundries. As a woman in my 30s, I find it very hard to get my head around how recent this is in our history. We're not talking about, a long time ago. This continued up until 1998.
Exactly. Within our group, the majority of members of the group are under the age of 50. And, in their early 40s. Personally, I'm shocked when I hear that, it's only 27 years since some mothers' children were taken from them. And since some of these women, as young, vulnerable women, were incarcerated in mother and baby homes. I'm shocked at that. I was in Ardmira Dunboyne in 1974 for 4 months when my first baby was taken from me after she was born on Hollis Street. And again, in late 1975, I was in St. Patrick's on the Navan Road. I gave birth to a daughter there, and I raised her successfully myself. So 1974 and 1975, it's 44 years ago this year.
Right.
That might seem like a long time to younger people out there, but it's not. We're not talking, we're talking about since the 1970s that this continued, and this continued right up to 1998. And I'm shocked by that, for 20 odd years after my first daughter was taken, it was still happening.
If you were to meet the Pope when he comes in August, Kathy, what would be your message? My message would be that, we have to start healing at some point. We have to reach out. My message would be, I come in peace. I'm not judging anybody. And I think, carrying on the Christian ethos, that none of us should judge. There is this thing where, I've been thinking a lot about judgment and Christian ethos. But there is this thing where for the want of a word, or where say, the religious orders, there might be a sense of guilt in relation to what happened. And it wasn't just the religious orders. I mean, this was state and church working hand in hand together in relation to what was done to young women who found themselves pregnant outside of marriage. But likewise, those of us who have lived with the stigma also carry the shame. And, we need to just drop all of that. We need, if we're going to keep sitting on either side of the fence, we'll never find healing. And my main concern is that if the Pope comes to Ireland, and he is coming, yeah.
Yeah, well, when the Pope comes to Ireland, if there isn't some indication to, those who have suffered, that the Pope is reaching out the hand of understanding, of
that he's contrite,
of compassion, that hurt and that trauma will continue. There are people out there in society who all they need, is a hand of friendship and not to be judged. It's not that I feel that I need to be absolved of any sin. I did not sin. I gave life.
It's
And I just think
recognition,
that
maybe, Kathy, for what you've been through as well.
acknowledgement.
Acknowledgement, yeah.
Acknowledgement.
Okay.
And that we need to come together in a non-judgmental way on both sides. That it's about just helping people to heal from the hurt that they've been through. This opportunity should not be missed, because it's not just individual, it's not just members of our group. It's thousands of women out there who were through the institutions, mother and baby home institutions, and there's a ripple effect, because, you know, if a mother is suffering from past trauma, that is affecting her current and subsequent children. So, you know, we need to start healing.
Okay.
We need to start reaching out, and we need to be able to sit down and talk. Like, you know, when Mary Magdalene washed the feet of Jesus, Jesus wasn't judging her. And, you know, it would be a symbolic thing if it was a meeting. It would be very Christ-like for the church and for the community that we're talking about to be able to engage.
Okay. Well, Kathy McMahon, thank you very much for joining us on the show this morning. If you have any views on the Pope's visit, we'd love to hear from you. Get in touch with us. We'll give you another chance to enter our Elvis competition as well, coming up after these.
Let me tell you about a little girl, a bright,